Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new week. Welcome back to the channel. So, we're looking at a report that comes from the Crypto Basic. We're going to go over this real fast, and then we're going to go over XRP and Bitcoin. So, 19 banks report exposure to XRP, in total 9.4 billion euro investment positions. Banks banks from banks from North America, Europe, and other parts of the world have declared investments in crypto assets, with XRP holding prominent positions. The Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, the BCBS, a foremost global authority on regulating for banks, has published a report capturing the exposures of its 45 member central banks on cryptocurrencies such as XRP. States 10 banks came from North America, 7 from Europe, and 2 from other regions. Total 9.4 billion in crypto assets exposure over 10.27 billion dollars. 2 banks account for over half the total, and 4 additional banks represent just under 40% of the remaining exposures. According to Basel Committee findings, XRP ranked as the third largest altcoin in which the reporting banks disclosed commitments. Specifically, it was identified that XRP constituted for 2% of the total exposure of 9.4 billion euro. This percentage translates to the total XRP position worth over, let's go in dollars, $205 million. That doesn't seem like a lot. We're talking about, I'm just, excuse me, thinking. But anyway, so exposures to Bitcoin and other crypto. Furthermore, the report mentioned that most bank crypto exposures predominantly consist of Bitcoin and Ethereum. The dominance also applies to instruments that track Bitcoin and Ethereum as the underlying digital assets. So, let me know what y'all think. I'm just taking this as tokens that from exchanges. Could be wrong, but it says the dominance also applies to instruments that track BTC and ETH. What else could that be? So let me know what your thoughts are on this. By the way, none of this is financial advice. We're just going over the news here, and we're going to look at charts. This is for educational purposes only. Among the top 20 reported crypto assets by exposure, other noteworthy entries include Polkadot at 2%, Cardano at 1%, Solana at 1%, Litecoin at 0.4%, and Stellar Lumens at 0.4%. Just want to say real quick, a lot of the times when we're going over this stuff, these numbers don't seem correct to me. Doesn't mean that they're not correct, but when it's saying that total XRP positions worth 205 million, you're looking at what's the market cap on XRP? I think it was at 25 billion yesterday. So this doesn't seem, and numbers are skewed. You really can't trust or take this stuff verbatim what they're saying. I mean, this is banks assumingly reporting their holdings on crypto. Okay, so I think that says enough. Those that aren't aware, banks manipulate heavily what they're doing. They manipulate interest rates, they manipulate price action, they manipulate anything that they get their hands on, anything and everything. So when you're going over this stuff, you just got to keep an open mind. So just keep an open mind. Look at the numbers, look at the market caps, and look at how much money these banks have. For them to have $200 million worth, yeah, that's a large amount, but we're still in the early stages too. I was thinking about this yesterday, and we're still, if you're in this right now and you're participating and you're learning, then even just recently, if you're brand new, then you're still among like the the vast majority of population. I think it's over 90% of people do not have a clue about crypto, except for they think it's a scam. Anyways, among the top, just wanted to kind of point that out. among the top 20 reported crypto assets by exposure, other noteworthy. Okay, we went over this, and it goes over these percents again. You know, take it how you want. So we have Bitcoin here, predominant, Ethereum, Grayscale Trust. For those of you not familiar with Grayscale, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but they're the #1 bank that deals with crypto right now, publicly, I believe it is. CoinShares Physically ETF Fund, Polkadot, Ripple, ProShares ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, Cardano, Galaxy, CI Galaxy. Not going to go over all these, but Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, Litecoin, and Stellar Lumens. So there's that. It gives a pretty good representation. I just don't see why Bitcoin, kind of talk about this before, and it's just, I understand why people invest in Bitcoin. It's not meant to make transactions, really, I don't think, because it's so slow, and the carbon emissions and all that stuff is, and the energy that it takes, is the cost that it takes for Bitcoin. It's just like, and honestly, with my personal experience, Stellar Lumens is faster in transacting than Ripple, than XRP. I've noticed a big difference. Also, I think Stellar leaves a smaller carbon footprint. Anyway, so I read that somewhere else, and who knows the truth, but that's why we look at the news, try to do the best we can in interpreting it and relating it to our experiences with charts, and how we're using these tokens, if we're using them for as a store of value or to move money, whatever the case may be. So we just opened up, the markets opened up, actually started opening up last night, 9:14. So we're about 45 minutes into the New York Open. We had a quick jab down here to the 36,700 mark on Bitcoin, looking at these levels of liquidity, but mainly just following the price action. So you can see here that we were rejected several times. There's another one right here, several times with wicks. So boom, this time came down and shot right back up, and you see that reflected in XRP. These are the levels going to be watching for hourly close, 37,877. So you get a close, basically. I'd like to see a close past where these levels are, so into 38,000. So we get an hourly close into 38,000, and it's a strong looking candle. This candle right here, just looking at the most recent price action, previous price action is this right here on the hour. You can see that it stopped, or it slightly broke right here. Okay, slightly broke right there, but this is again a zone, so we could be going up to take this liquidity and come back down. But right now this is looking bullish. What I'm looking for is, again, a close up here, foremost, like right here in the most recent price action, above 37.5, and then on to 38,000 on to the downside. We're watching these levels right here. So at 35, so we get a breakdown into beyond, lower than 35k for Bitcoin on the hour, then definitely that would. So I have these red, so white, neutral, yellow, kind of like a stoplight, yellow, red, and maybe green down here, but really green down here. But anyway, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Right now it's looking like we may be heading up. Let's take a look at XRP. real fast. Whoops. We are going to be going over these other markets. Let's take a quick look at the dollar. I'm not going to do it on this video. So was looking for a double bottom last week on this, you know, possibly, but it's not, didn't happen. And so we continue to go down. We have, let's take a quick look at the Forex factory. Not going to spend a whole lot of time here. See what we have going on real quick for the week. So looking mainly for USD. Other things, especially like the euro, will impact USD, Canadian dollar, existing home sales, durable goods, unemployment claims, revised UOM's consumer sentiment. The euro, we have PMI, flash services PMI for the euro. So the euro is pretty much like the anti-dollar, you know. So that's why Euro USD and currency pairs, which we're going to be covering later, is, you know, that's the #1 most traded pair. And right now it's the #1 most traded time because we have London session overlapping with the New York Open. So it's called the crossover. For those that aren't familiar, on Friday we have flash services manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI for USD. Not seeing a whole lot of other USD related news coming out. You know, we do have some other macro events. Take a quick look at the S&P. So these were moving divergently in opposite directions from Bitcoin. Let's take a broader view out on the daily. Was really looking for this gap to be closed, so keeping an eye on that in this current level here where prices stop. Just looking at the most recent, I could really go into depth on this. Just wanted to really cover the open, where the dollar's at. You know, take a quick look at the S&P 500. So I was looking still kind of looking for a pullback right here. So if we got a pullback right here, then this would make an inverse head and shoulders. And you're going to see this price reflected on currency pairs, majors. So, boom. We're just going to take it down here to the center. And then if we came up here and we pull back from where we are and came back down this level, where that trend is, then this would hit the same level where this other low was rejected. If you look across right here. So that's kind of what I was looking at, this area right here. Move this on down. You know, this is ideal for trading. You know, again, not financial advice, but just looking at, so when you see this stuff happen, like a pullback, and you have a breach of this market structure, descending channel. We're looking at this on XRP, which we're about to look at. This descending channel into support. And so this is a bull. So this did prove to be a continuation pattern. Mark this real quick. And so now we can say it's a continuation partially, but really not really going to be able to say it's continuation until it's up there. You don't really know something, you know, like a reversal pattern or whatever is actually what it is until you see it proved to be, you know. So we're speculating right now. We do have some news coming out this week, but we also have some other macro factors that are taking place right now. So one, like the war, sorry, S&P. So the war should impact the dollar. You know, if it continues to get worse and we continue to see this stuff, we could see people going back to the dollar, and we could see stocks, indices tank. So, and we could see these metals come back up, like gold and things. Let's take a look at XRP. So here we are on the daily. Was looking at this and sharing this with the team. Was actually looking for a possible short position here on XRP. Let me pull this up. So we had divergence, we had bearish divergence, so this is pointing down, this is pointing down, this one's pointing straight across up top. Was looking for a bearish engulfing on the retest. So this is showing a shift in momentum from buying to selling, going down. Up here on the chart, the price chart, it's showing straight across. So what this is saying is, to me, this is saying that this is confirming this trend. It's confirming this 62.5 cent area where we've seen historically price reverse or turn around. So just looking at this and looking at the RSI, I'll look at it sometimes. We have another one here. Okay, so historically we had a big spike right here, another one right here. So historically this level, we can see on the charts, has rejected price as support and from the bottom as resistance here. And so as a level, this was showing, confirming that we were reaching a higher point, and that traders were going, there was selling started to pick up faster than buying. So we also saw what we just looked at on the Bitcoin chart. We actually had posted this yesterday. Also mentioned, just because of the nature of everything happening right now, kind of still neutral on this. To get a stronger conviction, would wait for, instead of an early entry, would wait for a clear price action pattern here on XRP. So if we cross this yellow line, 61 cents, 61.785, kind of look at this like this. So we have a more rounded out, and then a smaller, sharper rounding out. So this would be an Adam and Eve pattern if we get an hourly close down here. And really, this is another reason why right here is because of this level. We just saw price rejected here. So right here, here, and we can just go on down the line. Mark out a couple more of them. So here, so this area, and this is a big one right here. So as far as shorting right now, like this right here, it looks like we could come down, but we have all this pretty heavy support here around 61 to 60 cents. I imagine there are some pretty big positions traders are defending down here closer to this support that we have at around 55-56 cents. So, and we can see that from these rejections here. So this 58 to 60 cent support is being heavily defended, probably because of all these positions down here. So if there's a major change in Bitcoin sentiment without further XRP or Ripple development, then price has been holding strong, but to the downside, anything is possible. This could play out and end up being a trade, but for me personally, this wick right here on the jab down and all these levels right here where price was rejected, if it was going to trade this, and who knows, might, but it just depends on what the candle's going to look like. So we got 1, 2, so this rejection right here was you know, that's not a good candle that personally that I want to see before I enter for a short right here intraday. But you know, if it set say here, I'll be watching a retest right along this area to see on a smaller time frame like what's happening maybe before I got in. But anyways, once again, not financial advice, just you know, giving perspective here. So also this support, so excuse me, would look more for probably for a full reversal pattern, and even then we have this area here that's been heavily defended. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the news, what's happening with Bitcoin, what's happening with the dollar, what's happening with the stock market and everything, because they were moving divergent. You can see XRPs seems to be, it's just like it kind of like in the middle right now. So as we're getting closer to, as we get closer to the 40K mark for Bitcoin, I imagine, you know, people would be more hesitant unless we have a major breakthrough in the fundamentals. Because if we go up past into this area and we break these points and we go into 41K, then, you know, that it seems a little premature, really, to me. It just seems a little premature. That's all. But it's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. What are your price predictions for Bitcoin? Are we going to go up to 40K? Are we going to see a stock market drop and maybe see crypto take off if the ETF comes out or something like that happens? We do have the halving coming up, so you know it's still a little bit of ways. There's still plenty of time for a drop. I know a lot of people have counted this out of the playbook, the 12Kers, you know, but anything is possible. If you look previously back here, we were up from the lows. Now see market manipulation here. We're up 342, and then we went down. We went all the way down to, it's back in the day, so we went all the way down to 3,800 here from nearly 14,000 within, so that was a year. I don't think we have a year. I think we got like 6 months or something. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, to see something like this, if we're going to single out this drop right here from the high, this happened in 21 days. So we dropped, and then if we go on to see the rise right here, then we were up 154 days. We were up 231%. So anything can happen. There could be a quick shift. Honestly, been kind of looking for something like this to happen on Bitcoin. Doesn't mean it's going to happen on Bitcoin, but you know, anything is possible. Just going to point out this market manipulation right here, and then we'll get off of here, and we're going to be looking, like I said, in Forex and metals also this week. So we had a bull flag, or what seemed to be a bull flag. This is why I'm saying you can't ever really say that something is anything until it plays out. In this case, we had a false break, a jab down, so there was tons of liquidity here. It came up, we came all the way up, descending channel, rise up, false breakout, boom, slam down, and look at that recovery. That's what sprung us into the bull run. So, you know, coming back and looking over here, that's why I am not putting anything out of the playbook. Let's take another short look right quick. For a 4-hour candle, be looking at for the same thing. It's going to end in 28 minutes. And be looking for a break again up into 37.5 area. Ultimately, want to see these tweezer tops. Want to see a close up here to be more bullish, and even then we have this daily resistance trend. So Anyways, you guys, that's going to do it for now. We'll be keeping you posted the best that we can. If you have any questions, be sure and just drop a comment. If you want to follow us for faster, for more information faster, then just reach out, send a message. Make sure to subscribe to the channel Win with Ryan on YouTube. So we are dropping videos here in YouTube, Win with Ryan, before we're dropping them anywhere else. So be sure and come and follow us here. Let me go back real quick, show you the channel. So this is a video that we had just dropped yesterday. So right here, Win with Ryan. It's going to take me back. Here we go. Win with Ryan. Make sure to go here and subscribe. I'm already subscribed, just not logged in. But be sure to come here. And then also, we have, this is our educational platform for trading. It's Trading Success Forex, but we do cryptos obviously and everything in here. We also have a signals channel. This is a private group. Didn't really plan on sharing this, but here's our public page. If you're not following, make sure to like and follow for updates. We're putting information in these channels and on this page before we're putting them anywhere else. So it's Trading Success Forex. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. If you're in the XRP group, make sure and follow us. You want to stay up to date. Like I said, content is going to be hitting these platforms first. Anyways, you guys, that's going to do it for now. Hope you are getting off to a good start this week, and we will keep you updated, like I said, as best we can, and we will holler at y'all later. See ya.